statement. I am your host, Dianne Hart, and this evening I have the awesome pleasure of interviewing a phenomenal woman, Miss Linda Walker. I've known Linda for probably about 20 years, but tonight she's going to introduce you to some programs that you probably, maybe some of you may have heard about them, some of you may not have, but it's important that you understand exactly what she's involved in, and I have her with me tonight to be able to talk about it and to talk about an event that they have upcoming. So Linda, I'd like to give you an opportunity just to introduce yourself to our audience, and let's talk a little bit about yourself first.
Okay, absolutely. Good evening, everyone. And I am honored to be here tonight to share with you guys. I am Linda Walker, the Executive Director for Hillsborough House of Hope. And Hillsborough House of Hope is a transitional shelter for women coming out of incarceration, women who've made some bad choices in their lives, just need a chance to get back on track. And so about myself, I love working with the Hillsborough House of Hope because 25 years ago, I was one of those women. And here I stand because somebody gave me a chance. Somebody believed that I deserved another chance. And here I stand 25 years later, the Executive Director of the Hillsborough House of Hope.
Listen, nobody can tell somebody who needs that help anything about it unless they've really been there. You know, we can sit in our offices and write all these wonderful papers and, we can put forth legislation. But if you've not experienced it, you don't really understand what the women are going through. I know that you understand because you have gone through that. Can you just talk a little bit about what's the most difficult part of returning to your community? What's the hardest part?
The hardest part about coming back into the community and becoming a part of society, finding a job, finding a decent place to live, getting trust back from your loved ones and your family members, but basically just having another chance, even at getting a job, because a lot of people don't even want to hire you because of your background. And a lot of the apartments and housing don't want to give you a place to live because of your background. And everybody deserves a chance. And those are the two biggest struggles, is housing and employment.
Wow. So House of Hope actually provides just that hope to help you get back on your feet. So let's talk a little bit about how do you all do that?
When the women first come in, Hillsborough House of Hope is a faith-based transitional shelter. When the women first come in, we do pray with them, and then we sit with them and do an intake packet. We go over all of their needs because I know as a woman, everybody is unique and different in their own way. So we have to figure out what is it that we need to help this lady with so she can get back on track. So I get connected to community jobs that are hiring people with backgrounds to make sure that if they can't find something, I have a list of places I can refer them. I check into apartments and I try to find all the resources that I can find for these ladies. So when they come out, they don't have to struggle so hard to find it. I try to keep everything in order. So when they come, they put God first. They start working on their medical issues because a lot of these women have been incarcerated for so many years or been on the streets. They haven't seen a doctor in 10 to 20 years. Wow. So the first thing we do is tell them, hey, you got to go to Tampa Family Health and get a physical because when they come out of incarceration, they can't turn them away. They have to see them. So I take them to Tampa Family Health so they can get physicals and see what's going on with their health issues, if anything at all. We've had women that have found out they had cancer for 5 years while they was in prison and never knew it. Never knew it. So health is very important, especially for women.
Absolutely. So do many of these women come home with the need for just their driver's license, birth certificates, their social security cards, the need to be able to get food stamps? Are those some of the issues you all also help them with?
Yes, we help them with everything. That is a real big issue too. The driver IDs. When the women come out, if they don't have it, very rarely we get a woman that comes out of incarceration that still has her ID. Very rarely. And when they don't have it, we do know that we can take them to Metropolitan Ministries. They'll give them, as long as they can prove that their identity is who they say they are, by being able to get a birth certificate and a copy of their social security card. If they can get those two things, Metropolitan gives them a check to go purchase their IDs, which really helps out.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Would it make it easier for you all if we passed a piece of legislation that required the Florida Department of Corrections to ensure that that person have the documents they need to come home to get their driver's license, or to get their ID?
That we have not received any of that, but that would be wonderful. It would be wonderful because, first of all, if they don't have a copy of their birth certificate, they got to go whatever state they're from, try to get this birth certificate. It has taken up to 6 months to get a birth certificate before. And that was because this one lady was born in New York, and they said the courthouse burned down and they didn't have any record. So it was like, whoa.
Right, but however, she's been incarcerated here in the state of Florida, and they have her ID. They know who she is. They've identified her. So if we were to put forth some form of legislation that would allow that person to come home with that ID from the state of Florida, because you've been incarcerated, then that would be a major help to our women and our men, I'm sure, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Because that's one of the biggest things is them having identifications. Yes. And most of them that come out, they don't have it. And so if there was something in place where they could get something coming out of prison, like you said, and be able to bring that to suffice to get a state ID, that will be wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Well, I think I have one more bill slot. I'll talk to Malik about how we might put forth a piece of legislation. We're not asking them to do anything out of the ordinary. We're saying send them home with ID that they'll be able to use. And as the state of Florida, we can decide what the driver's license office could accept in order to verify that person's identity.
Right.
So I'll certainly take a look at that. But now,
thank you.
Go ahead.
I said thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I understand that Hillsborough House of Hope is more like wraparound services with housing and other services. Would that be a true statement for what Hillsborough House of Hope is?
That's exactly what it is. Like I said, we're a transitional shelter. When people come in, we help them with their medical, we help them with ID, we help them work on getting their Social Security card. And a lot of the women or men may want to reunify with their children. We help them to get that case open back up so they can begin the process of reunifying with kids. But when they leave the Hillsborough House of Hope, we try to make sure that we have them a place to go of their own. So that, because all of the people that come to Hillsborough House of Hope, as long as they get a job and some form of income coming in before they leave in 6 months, we can help them get into a place. So that helps out a lot of helping them get into a permanent housing situation. So basically, yes, it's a wraparound service, everything. And like I said, each woman is unique in a different way and may need different things. But I actually, the first 7 days they're there, I actually drive them to take care of everything they need to take care of. Getting clothes, getting food, free food, because for the first 7 days after coming out of incarceration, it takes about 7 to 8 days to get food stamps. And if they do get the food stamps, they only keep them until they find a job. And then once they find a job, they cut those off. So we just help them, become productive.
Right.
Productive. And they need that help.
They absolutely do. Now, is it true? Because I've been told so many times that they come home with $50 and their bus ticket. Is that how we're still releasing our people from our corrections?
Yes, with $50. And where are they going to go with that? A pack of cigarettes and something to eat on the bus. It's gone.
Right.
It's gone. So when they get here, they have. Yes. So right now, what I'm having is I always tell, if someone calls me or writes, I get a lot of letters from the prisons. And if men and women. So when I get those letters, I try to make sure that I respond back with telling them what the requirements are for pay. And then tell them if you have someone that's willing to help you, if you get somebody to help you, if even with half of what these housings are asking. Most of the time, some of the houses will work with them if they can get half of what they're asking for. But it's kind of hard for some of them. But there have been some that come out and they are able to get whole or half of $500. And then once they get that, then that gives them a whole month to be able to work on all the things that they need to work on while their rent is caught up. You know what I'm saying? So that makes a huge difference. But we have A. Brown Ministries. I don't know if you're familiar with the program that they have. They changed the name from Ready for Work to Inspire. Oh. And if a client comes out of prison, they can go to A. Brown if they qualify. They pretty much help them with 6 months of rent of wherever they live.
Both men and women? Both men and women?
Men and women.
Oh, I didn't even, I knew that the Ready for Work program that A. Brown Ministry was running were more geared to men. I guess I wasn't really thinking about it, but it's also for women as well.
Yes, anyone out of the state prison, state or the federal prison. Yes.
So Linda, so the people get in touch with you? How soon do they have to get in touch with you prior to them being released? What's that look like?
I always say at least 3 to 2 weeks. Get with the correction, your releasing corporal. Releasing corporal will put them on a conference call with me, because I love to interview them over the phone. I don't like them coming without me interviewing them. Releasing corporal can refer them, but we have to do an interview since we don't have a written application. Right. So we ask that they get it. When they write me, I send a letter back to them, and I say, well, if you're getting out in the next 2 months, 3 to 2 weeks before you come out, give me your releasing corporal, and you guys call me together on a conference call. I'd like to speak with you, and I need to find out where their minds are, if they got the willingness to do the right thing, and then talk to them about, can anyone help them with half of the first month's rent? And then if that's the case, and we've had it happen, but the releasing corporals have been very helpful with calling and doing a conference call interview.
Let me ask you this. Have you all been applying for state funding to be able to help maybe cover some of those fees for the women coming out?
We have not, but that's something that we definitely would be interested in. Definitely. We never have.
Oh my God, I had no idea that you all had never applied. You just missed, appropriations are ending on Tuesday, I believe it is, that all appropriations have to be in to the House by Tuesday. Wow. And so I want to just make sure that moving forward that you all don't miss another cycle. It's every year. I put on an appropriation workshop every year so that I can just kind of teach people. I can't guarantee them they get money, but I can guarantee you the process. And I believe a program such as yours, I'm certain that the state of Florida should be open to trying to ensure that you all are able to get some.
And I don't know if people are aware, if you're aware, in the past, when we first started, Pamela Aurelio was a board member for Hillsborough House of Home.
Yes, I remember that.
And then after she left, Mayor Jane Castor came on as a board member. And then when she was chief, she was a board member. And then after she became mayor, she, came out of there, and now she's just advisory. Like if I need to go to her office and sit with her to talk about things, she opens that up to me. So I do that quite a bit. So it's just a great thing to have so much support trying to help people get their lives together and have a second chance. And so I can say that there are a lot of programs, a lot of people in Tampa that really do care. It's just getting the right people in place.
Right. Let me ask you this. Have you asked the city if they would be willing to put money in their budget for the household, for Hillsborough household, for job opportunities from the city?
I haven't, but maybe it's worth a try.
Absolutely, it is.
Maybe it's worth a try, because I know we do need. I did go to her and talk to the mayor and ask her about housing, because I do feel that they do 6 months with us, and then the other house, that we have 3 houses now. We went from 1 house to 3 houses, and we now facilitate, instead of 3 women, 11 women. And so now the women are reunifying with their kids, and it's like, where do we put them? Because they can't get a place to go because of their backgrounds. So developers, anyone in the community that would be willing to say, you know what, Linda, I'll set something up for you to put these ladies, and as long as you're going to monitor them and make sure everything's going, like have weekly meetings with the ladies, stay on top of things with them. The same things they're supposed to do, required to do in those homes, they need to be required to do if they move into those apartments. And then have one unit that's just for the person that oversees the complex at night and weekends.
That's great. Have you spoken to Hillsborough County, to their homeless initiative, with their homeless initiative at the county?
Yes.
Haven't been able to get any help yet? That's a conversation we need to have. So I'd be happy to help facilitate that conversation with you, because I believe that Hillsborough Homeless Coalition should also be helping out with the women that are returning, back into our community. I get it that you deserve to have a second opportunity. And so many times people are just not giving that opportunity to
Absolutely.
Or to men in some instances. So I look forward to being able to do whatever it is that I can to assist you. And let's try and chase some of this money. Now, I don't know if you have been seeing the list that the Congresswoman puts out every quarter. Congresswoman Kathy Castor puts out a list every quarter of all the grant opportunities. So what I'll do is start making sure that you get it. You'll have to comb through it. It's about 200 grant opportunities. And it's all of money. So it's different pools of money, yes. So
And they work with, and they're okay. They're open to reentry.
you'll see reentry programs out there. I mean, it's hundreds of programs. And I do know that reentry is one of the things that they will be covering in some of those grant opportunities. Mental health is a part of what they will cover. I'm sure that there are many women who come home that could use that mental health capacity piece.
Yes.
To get
Yes, I found in the 20 something years I've been working with the women, Dianne, if they were diagnosed with any type of mental health issue, bipolar, depression, schizophrenia, and all those different issues like that, the minor ones, if they come out and they say, well, I don't feel like I need to take that medicine anymore, I can tell you, I can testify that everyone that didn't want to take that medicine anymore relapsed. They went back to the same lifestyle. So I tell them it's important to keep up your medical and your mental health so you can stay on the right track, because it helps balance you out. So that's really, and I'd say 80% of the women that come to us are in the mental health status.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
80%,
Yeah.
And even on, and I'm not ashamed to share this, even on 25 years of sobriety, I haven't had a drink or a drug in 25 years, and I still take my medication because it helps me to stay balanced.
Absolutely, absolutely. And people need to understand that who are taking meds. I guess they feel like, oh, I shouldn't have to take them anymore. But you're right. If you don't, then, hey, you might relapse and go into something else. So listen, I'm going to provide you with all the various lists that I can put my hands on so that you can take a look at all the various opportunities of funding. Of course, I can't guarantee you where you get federal funding or not, but what I can guarantee is that you will definitely know how to get it done. That's
okay. Absolutely. And recently, this week, since I've been on vacation, I got a text from Kathy Castor's office asking me to come on a Zoom call.
She had a town hall. I was on it. That was on Monday. She had a town hall meeting, and they do this town hall periodically. We were supposed to actually do it live in Tampa, and she had to go back to DC, and I had to come to Tallahassee. So we ended up doing a town hall on the phone, and that would have given you an opportunity to speak to her. You could ask any kind of questions you wanted to ask. But hey, you weren't on the town hall. You can still reach out and talk to Dwayne, and I'm more than happy to get Dwayne's number to you. And you can call Dwayne and you can ask him directly to send you the list of all of the grant opportunities. And it'll have the dates that the grants are due. It'll have what the grant is about. All of that will be listed in these mega pages, because there are a lot of grants. So when you have a little downtime, you just kind of go through them, see what you may qualify for your women. When you apply, it gives you the date to apply. It'll give you the ending date of when the grant will close, when the grants will be funded, when you'll be notified. All of that is a part of the Congresswoman's actual packet. So I'm going to make sure you get that.
Okay. Yes, please do. Thank you so much.
I promise I will. We will be right back.
You are watching The Opening Statement with your host, Dianne Hart, right here on Tampa Bay Television Network.
So what I'd like to know from you, my love, is you are having an event that's coming up pretty soon. And
yes.
I'm looking forward to that.
That is going to be a wonderful event. The Hillsborough House of Hope Holiday Fashion.
You can tell us a little bit about that. Holiday Fashions by Dillard's. It's a fashion show?
Yes, it's actually a fashion show that's going to be hosted, our first time being hosted in Dillard's at Citrus Park Mall on the second floor. It's from 3 to 6 on November the 18th. We have lots of connections with people coming in. The Dungy family. The Dungy girls are going to model in the fashion show. And then there's a marathon team called that's part of the Dungies have a marathon team. And the ladies from the marathon team are going to come, and they're also going to model. So it's going to be a fabulous show. And then what we'll do is have a few of our graduates from the program who are also going to model, and they're going to be modeling the line of clothes, the holiday clothing for Dillard's. And so the girls that are in the program, when they come out to model, they're going to stop and share a short script of their story. So everyone will get to hear and see the women that we've helped and the ones that are now productive and successful.
I know that's right. And I know there are lots of those women who are in success.
And we're so happy to have them come and just be a part of. Also, we're going to have raffles. Dillard's has donated $150 shopping spree, a $250 shopping spree. So hopefully I win the $250. And then everyone that attends the event gets 15% off the day of the show. So it's from 3 to 6, or you have from 6 to 9 shop. So so I'm really excited
to it.
Wow. I'm really excited about it. And also the Buccaneers, Mike Allspot, we got a hold of him, and he's not going to be able to come, but he was able to sign a football and hand it over to us to put in the silent auction.
Hey, for all those women out there who are going to bring their husbands along who would like to have that football, and you'll have to put some money up for that ball. And of course, this money will be going to the Hillsborough House of Hope, as this is a yearly fundraiser. And I'm very happy to be able to be a part of this event. I'm looking forward to it, having an opportunity to say a few words to all of the people who would be there. I'm excited. I'm really excited about it.
Well, Representative Dianne Hart, we are honored to have you. You're our guest speaker. So you're the speaker of the hour. So you just come with your beautiful smile and come out and give us some good words. And everyone's looking forward to hearing from you. And I really believe it's going to be an awesome show.
Oh, I believe it. There's no question in my mind. Every single year that you put on this event, it's always been a fabulous event. Even if it's not a fashion show, it's always been a fabulous event. So I've enjoyed attending every single year. I want to be a part of it. I'm typically in Tallahassee. We were in Tallahassee, but I'm coming home from Tallahassee so that I can be a part of the show. So I'm really excited about it. We're going to take a little pause for just a second, and then we will be coming right back.
You are watching The Opening Statement with your host, Dianne Hart, right here on Tampa Bay Television Network.
Welcome to The Opening Statement. I am your host, Dianne Hart, with Miss Linda Walker, who is just an awesome woman, you all. Those of you all who don't know her, you will get to know her. So look forward to being at this event. It's November 18th at 3 o'clock.
Yes.
At the mall. Do we have an address for the mall?
It's Citrus Park Mall. I don't have the actual address, but if they Google Citrus Park Mall, it'll come right up.
It is 8161 Citrus Park Boulevard.
There we go. If someone wants to purchase tickets, they can go to hhhopefl.org, which is our website, and they can purchase their tickets on the website.
So you have no excuse why you cannot find your tickets, or you cannot get tickets, because you can. And before we go off of the show this evening, we're going to go back over that same information again, because we want to make sure that all of you all come out and enjoy this awesome fashion show and enjoy the speakers that'll be there. There's going to be some performance by a group.
Yes, we have live entertainment by Gayla James. And Gayla is a phenomenal singer. She sings jazz, a little bit of gospel, and she's just amazing. And she's out of Fort Myers. She's going to come all the way to Tampa just to perform for our group on that day.
So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are spending some time with Miss Linda Walker from the House of Hope, and we are really excited about having her here with us this evening. So I look forward to being able to attend that event on the 18th. I'm really excited about being the speaker. I so look forward to being able to be there on the 18th. I'm just overjoyed because I know the type of work that you all are doing, and for the women that you have helped, it's phenomenal. Now let's talk for a few minutes about the lady who started this organization.
That is Margaret Palmer, and Margaret Palmer was 97 years old. She just passed away last year in September. And Margaret started this out by taking the word of God into the county jails for 26 years.
Wow.
And in going into the jail, she realized, hey, the same women keep coming back over and over again. Just maybe if I set a program up to help these women, they won't come back. And so that's when she decided to get with Pamela Oreo before she became mayor, a few people, members at her church, and they all put together the 501c3, started this organization, and began to have fundraisers for the first 3 years actually before they actually found a property. And I remember them inviting me in to speak for a fundraiser. And I remember us making enough to put a down payment on a home. And we got the home, and here we are now, 1 home to 3 homes, 2 in Seminole Heights and 1 in Ybor Heights. And we now facilitate 11 women altogether. Instead of 3, we have moved up to 11. So
and
Margaret
that's 11 for 6 months. Then they graduate out and you get your next.
Well, here's how it goes. The first house that we had, they stay for 6 months. We have another house across the street from there. If one of the women gets to move in there, she gets to live there for 2 years.
Oh.
And then the house, yes, for 2 years. And then the home in Ybor Heights, they can stay there as long as they need to. But a lot of them want to reunify with their kids, and we don't have housing for the children. So most of them just move on. After 2 years, they usually move on to their own places. By that time, they can then have a rental history for being at Hillsborough House of Hope for 2 years.
That's right. And then they can use that to apply for housing someplace else because.
Yes. What we're looking to right now, some of the girls, I have some girls at a stage right now that really want to buy a house. Wonderful. So I've been referring them to go to Salita's house. You know about Salita's house?
Absolutely, I do.
Okay. I've been referring them to go to Salita's house, take the program, and then once you finish, because most of them get really decent jobs. They get their credit straightened out, and Salita helps them get their credit straight. So once they get their credit straight and they go through Salita's house, then at this point we can say, okay, now go look for your home, because now you've got the down payment assistance coming, and there they go. So we've got 2 women right now that really are ready to go.
Oh, that's wonderful. Absolutely. It is wonderful. Well, I'm happy to. So let's run over this thing one more time. It is November 18th at from 3 to 6 at
Citrus Park Mall.
Citrus Park Mall, 8161. Citrus Park Mall. So listen, you have no excuse, no reason why you cannot be there on the 18th. Please come out and support the House of Hope. If you can't come out to the Hillsborough House of Hope event, you can always give money. Yes. You can always go online. Is there a donation button that they can hit if they went out onto your website?
There is a donation button. Again, you can go on HHHOPEFL.org, and there is a donate button and also event button if you want to buy a ticket for the show. You hit event and it'll take you right over. You use your QR code and purchase your ticket, and there's also a donate button. So absolutely, we love it.
So there's no rhyme or reason why you cannot participate either in person or through a donation to help women who have been formerly incarcerated. Now they're coming home and to be reunited with their communities. There's nothing better than the feeling I'm sure they feel when they return. And I know how proud you are of all of your women, and you're always there to help them. So community, we're asking you to please come out on November 18th at Citrus Park Mall and enjoy the fashion show and help Hillsborough House of Hope raise some money to help more women. So thank you so much for joining me this evening. It's always a pleasure to have you on with me.
So I am so delighted, and thank you for having me on. And I look forward to seeing you on November 18th to come out and be our guest speaker. And live entertainment, food, fun, auction, silent auction, and raffles.
I know that's right. And I will be there. God's willing, the creek don't rise. That's what the old people used to say, right? I will absolutely be there. And I'm looking forward to having an opportunity to speak to the people who will be there on the 18th. Now, for those of you all, please join us every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock on Tampa Bay TV Network. We look forward to seeing you on every Wednesday night. But Linda, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I greatly appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Enjoy your trip.
Thank you.
Well, that ends our show for tonight. Thank you for joining us. You can catch us every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on Tampa Bay TV on the Lit TV network, Roku. So download the app and please join us. We look forward to seeing you